Good morning, boys and girls. Take 3. Freeze drying with Old Dog. My daughter with Down syndrome sometimes makes noises. Please ignore. And she doesn't listen. Can't tell her to be quiet because she doesn't listen. So there you go. She likes to be the center of attention. Don't you? Without the camera running, she'll sit there and be quiet for hours. So as soon as the camera's turned on, it's dancing music noises like from Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol. First step is to open the canned mushrooms. I'm using Celebrity mushroom pieces and stems that I acquired from U.S. Chef. They're $11.28 each can. You can't grow mushrooms for that price. And I know from experience they're quite tasty and that they freeze dry pretty well. So I'm going to open them, then drain them, and put them on trays. And the freeze dryer is busy cooling down right now. Getting ready to accept such an assignment. There we go. Don't need the liquid. We'd have to freeze dry it away anyway. Now I'm not telling you this is how freeze drying has to be done. I'm just showing you the way I do it. A lot of people do it different ways. But there's only so many ways you can do it, actually. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. The technique has to work in order for it to be considered a good technique. One of the things is if you have stuff that's too wet, it will overload the ice on your freeze dryer, which can then become an issue. Too much ice, oof. Probably could use a colander, but I'm just going to do it this way. Gonna leave that there while I get my scale. Excuse me for a second. Got my trusty scale. That was not wise. So you can have all kinds of oopsies. Yes, you're doing this. There she is, my daughter, making noise again. Note to self in the future. Open the cans next to the sink. So I think that's a thing with YouTube is people think they gotta talk. I hope you don't mind if I'm not a very talkative person usually. I learned a long time ago that when your mouth's flapping, your ears aren't working usually. And I had jobs where I had to listen and then make pronouncements. And the pronouncements affected people's lives. I was a manager. And the best part of the most important part of managing people is listening. They really appreciate it when you listen and understand their situation. And but you still have to make decisions and make pronouncements that affect their lives. Overall, I'd say I was 78 to 83% effective in my career. Kind of glad I'm retired now. Don't got that to worry about. My field of study was mechanical engineering. That's why, it might be part of why I like freeze drying, is because mechanical engineering has a lot to do with refrigeration and moving heat around and things like that. And once I was introduced to freeze drying, I went, "Ooh, I like that. That's sensible." Freeze drying serves two purposes. It preserves food so it doesn't rot, and it preserves it for a long time. Nothing worse than going to the fridge and trying to get something out and found out it rotted in your refrigerator and you can't eat it now. You know? Well, there are worse things. God forbid we could be in a war zone. Where I live, there's not currently any war zone. There used to be, back in the Indian Wars days. Now, with that taken care of, I'm gonna weigh this. Weigh this pan. I hate it when the eyesight gets in the way. Don't get old. Well, yeah, you do want to get old. I can't say don't get old, but tear, okay. Unit. Pounds and ounces. I like that. Huh, it was over a pound. Just an empty tray. That's wild. Okay. So we want 2 pounds of product on here. I did wash my hands before I started this. So we want to get up to, I did it wrong. Okay. We want that tear. Okay, there. There we go. Now I want about 2 pounds of this stuff on here. About. There, 2 pounds and 0.07. Yeah, I'll spread it around. Set it aside. I'll spread it around after I get both of these done, because I'm going to even these two and then even the other two. Whoa. That's two. See, that's more than 2 pounds. 2.5. 2.3. 2.3. Yeah, it can do that much. You don't want to go, definitely don't want to go over 2.5 per tray, because that would be 10 pounds per load. That's the absolute upper limit of your medium freeze dryer. 10 pounds. Large freeze dryer can do quite a bit more. They come out with an extra large freeze dryer. That's pretty exciting. If you have the electrical power to use that. Now, interestingly, when they're freeze dried, these large mushroom pieces, like this one, will just snap into smaller pieces, or they should, anyway.